All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. With me here, I have Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. You're muted. I think you might have touched it in the middle of intro. It's okay. It's unmuted now. You should be good. You're good. You're good. You're good. All right. Welcome back. Hi, Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir. How are you, sir? How was your week?
Very well. It's been an eventful week. First week of the year 2024. We wish for the best. I mean, the new year, like they say, the road may be rough, but then we can still make the best of it.
Awesome. Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all the viewers. Shout out to everybody that came by and watched the first video. I think we have about 61 views on that. You can help Sharp Edge News get to 1,000 followers on both YouTube and Facebook by please hitting the like button, share, subscribe, follow, everywhere. Help us share it, But we're going to be having some really elevated conversations here. Before we get into some of the headlines for the day, do you have anything you want to bring us up to speed on in terms of the events of the first week? I mean, a lot happened in the first week of this year. It's crazy. Anything you want to share with us?
Oh, well, you know that our primary audience basically are Nigerians in the diaspora, Nigerians back home.
Right.
Essentially, you understand that Sharp Edge News, whether with our news website or the television outlet and all other platforms that are associated with us, we are about bridging the divide, whether digitally or traditionally, the extra information flow between countries of Africa West. So this appeal in this new year to all of us is that we should answer to our true identity as people who cherish peace, who love peace, who want to genuinely drive the killings, particularly targeted the attention of the set of programs, ethnic cleansing has to stop. It has to stop. So that said, all of sharing the responsibility of making the world a better place for all of us to live in. Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year. Hello? Hello? Studio?
Oh, oh, I see. All right, so I was muted, so probably why he's probably going to try to make his way back into the studio. But like I was saying earlier on, some of the stuff we have to cover today, we're going to be covering some stuff around the late TB Joshua. Definitely, we're going to be covering that. We're also going to be covering. We're going to cover Governor Wike of Rivers State and some of the Rivers State crisis. We're going to cover that. We're also going to cover some of the stuff in Tinubu's speech. We're going to cover that. We're going to talk about Sanwo-Olu. We're going to talk about Aiyedatiwa, Governor Aiyedatiwa, the new governor of Ondo State, and his visit to the governor's widow in Ibadan. All right, so we're going to be covering that. While we're going to stylishly wait for him to come back into the studio. I think that was my mistake right there. I was muted and he couldn't hear me. I thought it was him, but we'll see. We're just getting started. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. We go live here on Sunday evenings for Sunday Politics. Okay. And with that being said, I'll be right back. All right. While we're waiting for him, still waiting for him to come back. This news about TB Joshua is crazy. Let me use my language small while we're waiting. What's going on, Chidima? Hello. How you doing? All right. So there's this news on leadership newspaper. I'm not really familiar with this leadership newspaper. It must be something that they launched within the last 2 decades or so. Anyway, here's the report. I'm going to read the report to you. It says the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, is poised to release a 3-part investigative documentary outlining the alleged atrocities and sexual crimes committed by the late Pastor Temitope Balogun Joshua, widely known as TB Joshua. Joshua passed away on June 5, 2021. As part of the investigation, the BBC interviewed at least 30 former members and workers of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN. The first segment of the documentary is slated for release on January 8. The 3-part documentary exposes the covert lifestyle of the deceased SCOAN founder, detailing instances of abuse, harassment, rape, manipulation, and staged miracles. Let me see if I can get this. What's going on, Chinye? Good to see you. You're watching SharpEdgeNewsTV. Hold on one second. Let me just, I'm with you guys. All right. Let me just see if I can get him back on. Let's see. Normally it wouldn't take him that long to get him back on. Call has been forwarded to an maybe phones are dead. Okay, I think it's making its way back in now. All right, cool. I can see you.
So what happened at your end?
I think it's my mistake on my end, but I think we're getting back on now, so it's all good. Hold on 1 second. All right. So you had to, you just have to position the. We're live, just so you know. Okay.
Well,
We're live. My mistake. I'll tell you what happened as soon as you stable back in. I'll tell you what happened. But we're holding the mantle for you. No worries. All right, welcome back to SharpEdgeNewsTV.com. I was already.
Is it well positioned?
Yes,
Camera,
that's perfect right there. That's perfect right there. Aha, that's perfect. Okay, all right. So that was my mistake. When you were talking, I muted myself. So when I was now talking, you couldn't hear me again when you were done talking. So we're just going to pick it up from right there. We're just going to cover the first news, which is a breaking news, as a matter of fact, after I spoke to you. Let me just put the proper demarcation between the stories, and we can get started. I'll be right back. Okay, everybody will be right back. All right, welcome back. So we're talking about, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the TB Joshua breaking news?
Not yet.
Not yet. So I'm just going to read it to you. Yeah, that's an exclusive because everybody's probably going to touch on this tomorrow. But I'm reading this from the leadership, from leadership.ng. Is leadership? Let me ask you: is Leadership NG new? Is that a new newspaper in Nigeria?
Leadership newspaper has been around for close to 20-something years now. It was circulating. Yeah, they started publishing around 2001, 2002 in Abuja.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, it began the nationwide spread.
Got it. So I'm going to read this, and then we'll talk about it real quickly. It says BBC documentary exposes alleged atrocities and cover-ups by late TB Joshua, SCOAN. The British Broadcasting Corporation is poised to release a 3-part investigative documentary outlining the alleged atrocities and sexual crimes committed by the late Pastor Temitope Balogun Joshua, widely known as TB Joshua. Joshua passed away on June 5, 2021. As part of the investigation, the BBC interviewed at least 30 former members and workers of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN. The first segment of the documentary is slated for release on January 8th. That will be Monday, tomorrow. The 3-part documentary exposes the covert lifestyle of the deceased SCOAN founder, detailing instances of abuse, harassment, rape, manipulation, and staged miracles. Sources informed the BBC that although the church was aware of all the allegations, they never investigated them. They alleged that the sexual crimes spanned over 2 decades. Part of the documentary reviews how SCOAN shielded its congregation from the truth about the collapse of one of the church's guest houses in 2014. A video repeatedly shown to members on Emmanuel TV depicted a brief clip of the structure with what appeared to be an aircraft flying over it. SCOAN is situated in the Ikotu-Egbe area of Lagos State and grew from a local evangelical church into a multi-million-dollar Ikotu-Egbe, and grew from the local evangelical church into the multi-million-dollar establishments with worshippers from around the world. Emmanuel, a former worker of SCOAN, revealed to the BBC that the narrative about an aircraft was entirely false. He asserted that the church building had a structural defect. Additionally, Ray, a British woman who attended the church and was a disciple, corroborated this claim. She added that despite professional advice against it, Joshua insisted on raising the building, which had an inadequate foundation for its constructed floors. So that's something we've seen in the last. That news was being broken in the last 6 hours.
Yeah, that's a major tragedy. Let me tell you that there has. Let me isolate issues of false miracles. Let me talk about the structural defects that led to the collapse of the hotel facility at Synagogue Church of All Nations, and then the underlining the other issues bordering on rape, coercion, abuses, and all that. We must blame some of these things on official cover-ups in Nigeria. Of course, you remember when TB Joshua died, how Femi Fani-Kayode took to the podium like 2-3 minutes of fame. You know, he's a man that has always been in the limelight. In fact, when we first started SharpEdge News, he used to be a contributor. We published copies.
Oh, really?
Yes, we published copies of contributions from him. And you give it to you give it to Femi Fani-Kayode when it comes to erudition, when it comes to eloquence. But sometimes you want to wonder what kind of man this is. 1 minute, he is talking about persecutions of Christians in Nigeria. In another breath, Femi Fani-Kayode will be the person justifying every form of official domination by people who avow other faiths in Nigeria. So Femi Fani-Kayode, at the funeral of TB Joshua, eulogized him and then blamed everybody for trying to pull him down, that he was a Chinese star from Africa. No, I beg to disagree. Whatever Africans are celebrating today as miracles. Remember, on another platform, we were talking about faith healing and all that.
Right.
God heals. Unless you want to turn yourself to an enemy of the public in Nigeria. But who really cares? Because most times the public in Nigeria is often wrong. Majority of our people are often wrong. They are hooked on what Karl Marx described as the opium of the poor, of the masses, religion. Right. And then it's all about dogmas, it's all about routes, it's all about unfounded ethos. So, most of these things are devoid of reasoning. Everything Europe confronted in the age of enlightenment. You remember the scam of the Catholic Church. Remember the scam of the Anglican Church. I'm an Anglican, by the way. But there were more moments in our history as people of faith that you find people scamming masses, subjugating them, and then using religion as a tool of domination. We find it in the Middle East, we find it in Europe, and lately it is the pervasive thing all over Africa. I don't want to be mentioning churches whose pastors will tell you they drove cars from one point to another. Long stretch of journey without petrol in their vehicle. That is baloney. The same attitude was what happened with TB Joshua. Honestly, we can have this conversation with ourselves. A former professor or a former lecturer at the old Ondo State University, Aiyedatiwa, in the Department of History. If I just mention Bamidele, most students, most of my contemporaries who were in Aiyedatiwa, say from 1989 to 1993-94, they will remember the man I'm talking of. He was a pioneer star of Synagogue Church of All Nations. He left when he could no longer stand
Right.
all the deceptions going on there. Another
So
senior colleague of mine,
obviously TB Joshua is it what they call
he
benefactor? Somebody who benefited from that broken system.
he was the chief perpetuator, and he
Was the perpetrator.
active enablers. They are all over Nigeria. You look at the false Jerusalem they have set up everywhere. Faith is the only industry that sells in Nigeria. Private elementary schools, private high schools are the things. In America, you go to institution, it is because you want to address deficiency. For example, look at Donald Trump. He never was able to compete with people in public schools. He ended up in a so-called academy, which he always described as a military academy. This was a prep. And when people ended up attending preps, it's because they are looking for a way of remedying their academic. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that it is wrong to go to extramural schools or classes and all that. But it is, it is meant, it is designed to brush you up, bring you up to a standard that you ought to have been issued. So, Mr. Aramude, I won't give the other name, but senior journalist, that was the man who at the time took me to meet the former vice president of Nigeria, Abubakar, one Christmas in 2010, to have an exclusive audience with at his house in Ikoyi, or in his house in Ikoyi. So, all these people who used to be part of Synagogue Church of All Nations, they told me in clear terms that stuff beyond the ordinary were going on there.
Yeah.
How else would, in spite of the fact that the mishap at Synagogue Church of All Nations was going to cause, in fact, it led to a major diplomatic face-off between Nigeria and South Africa. So many people from all over the world died there. But look at the other obvious antics, games played, the kind of deception that TB Joshua foisted on people who did not understand what they believe as Christians. He was always targeting dying heads of state and would promise them healing, would please them of millions of dollars. Yet, the miracle of survival never really happened. Kamuzubanda.
So let me get this straight. They get Nigerians at every level when it comes to this promise of afterlife, longer life.
Yes, I do not know why people would not think of having a season of planting and not think of harvest time. You are on earth here, you've been born here. At some point, stop worrying yourself whether you live long or you don't live long. After all, pregnancies, having without anybody even administering what is it called, abortion pills or processes. Pregnancies, sometimes as a result of accident, get terminated. So why is it that all of us who are yet lucky, we are here? We get curious about.
We're literally one out of every 400 million lucky.
Oma Bongo was dying, an old man. TB Joshua promised him healing and longevity. Somebody who was a despotic ruler on his country. So what more time did he need? They brought him there. Eventually he died. Arthur John Mills, the former president of Ghana, was brought there. You know, all these things happen to promote the optics of deception. Oh, we can do it. The other day I told you, I said, as somebody who is legally blind, you don't think I need miracle to be able to see clearly. But
well, they might say you are shooting yourself on the legs now. Maybe it won't be possible since you are speaking seemingly actively against it.
It is what they always say. Because they know they cannot do it. They are impossible. Are they God? They are not God. God can do that. But maybe I'm even succumbing to their standard in saying that it has happened. Why don't I enjoy whatever life brings my way now? And then so that I can have this mental victory.
So you can actually enjoy the life. So you don't miss out on the life itself.
Well, it is natural to want to do everything. You drive. I'm not able to drive. I want to go to some places with some measure of independence. I'm not able to do all those things. Would I have wanted to do that? Certainly, but if I'm not able to do that, no qualms. Life continues. Let us enjoy what the present situation gives to us. So all these things said, and then look at the way, because some of these my former senior professional colleagues, they told me how coloring powder will be mixed, and then you remember all those treats on television in those days, saying somebody had vomited some
right. They said they pooped. They said they have pooped. Igbe.
And somebody was dancing.
They threw up.
All kinds of claims. Only in Africa, only in Nigeria. Do you know that some of our folks come to Europe, they come to America, they are stuck with that kind of.
They are. It's the mindset. Yeah, the mindset is stuck with them.
They're incapable of freeing themselves from this kind of situation. People came out. They said TB Joshua was doing this. He was appearing to them. To people in dreams and all that. I'm like, okay, paranormal situations. Let us conduct honest inquiry to whatever this man was.
So let me ask you, sir, Chief. Let me ask you.
Yes.
Let me ask you. What are you anticipating with this documentary that's coming out?
Well, good that BBC is bringing it out, but BBC too is capable of a double standard. Look at the scandal that broke the other day.
That's a good point.
They said the reporter had carried out investigative stuff on the certificate of Bola Tinubu, but it all was an arranged situation. And they never even came out. Yes, they never came out in an unequivocal way to say where they stood on all this. And today, you see how they have permitted the same administration with its own loads of cynicism and and all kinds of doubts on the part of the public to want to pretend like they are tackling academics for that. Look at how much you put into earning your degrees in America. You see what that administration in Nigeria was claiming. Oh, any American degree of diploma can be printed anywhere. How can you rob it? They cannot even, the kind of effort, the kind of work that goes into high school graduation or whatever in America, you cannot even compare between that and the standard with some Nigerian universities. But they always love to feel good. People who, with the deliberate destruction of the academic system in Nigeria, who ought to be rejected altogether as not belonging to the contemporary world, as not being relevant.
Anyway, Chief, we have a couple of other stories to cover. So because I know you can go on and on, right?
The TB Joshua's expose, a good one, but I think it's rather a bit late. And if it's going to lead to anything, let the officials who connive the TB Joshua to hide the facts, let all of them face judgment.
Right, let's name some names.
Yes, you can also try him in his grave. Try him on earth, let him also face the judgment of God.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments. We had some comments here. Let's see. Chinye, how far are you there? Chinye says FFK usually talks out of both sides of his mouth. That's your guy, Femi Fani Kayode. She said a green slimy snake in the green grass. Jesus. Chindima says religion is the opium of the masses. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Marry these two ideas together and you have a disaster. Yeesh. Yeah. She said BBC is also corrupt. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we can't trust any media houses. You have to use your own brain when you're listening to any of this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's safe to say that they're probably going to pull out some stuff that we kind of already knew before now. But like you said, maybe too late if they're not going to try real life people that are here. You know,
they should have done that while TB Joshua was alive, so that he can defend himself. But TB Joshua was full of all kinds of stuff. Even whenever I was talking those days, I always find it so difficult to grasp whatever I was saying. I don't know.
I never listened to him. I never listened to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked the quarrel. I picked the quarrel at the barber salon. I had gone there to get myself a nice cut. And then they started playing this TB Joshua.
Oh yeah, they do that. They do that at a lot of stores here, a lot of African stores here.
Oh yeah, I said, you guys, you are violating me. This minute, I don't want to hear this thing because this guy is nothing other than fake fraud.
Let me share this with you. I was gonna move on, but since you mentioned that, let me just share this with you really quickly. One of my big brothers, from way back here in the United States, he had an African store. And my wife patronized him and his sister. They owned the store together heavily at the time. And, but anytime you go, they have a TV in the corner, one of those box TV in the corner at the top. It's consistently playing TB Joshua Live. This was before YouTube Live, but somehow they had some kind of dish network or something back then. I'm talking about 15 years ago or so. So they will be playing it. And then
the
manual TV, yes. And then he would go on to tell us this story. Manual TV, yeah. And then he would go on to tell us this story one time. Like, I think it was, I'm not sure, I'm trying to remember now, but I think he was trying to prove to us that, this guy, he has, he's a powerful guy. Some lady entered the store one day and literally grabbed the knife and started chasing the girl who attended to people when they come into the store, and started chasing that person around the store. And that was their proof that TV, whatever that person was saying in the TV, was powerful enough to initiate a deliverance of some kind of Ogbanje spirit in that person. It was just
It is all baloney, hogwash. Before TB Joshua, you ask Nigerians, there was this man who ran what he called Universal College of Regeneration, otherwise known as Jesu Oyibo.
Jesu Oyibo, yeah. Yes.
You remember the song, Mi o mo Jesu Oyibo, Mi o mo Jesu Agege, Jesu Timomo.
Yeah, I know that song, yeah.
This Jesu Oyibo man, remember all those things he used to do. He became rich, and I think they said he was an Ijebu man. But he was doing all kinds of things. And
of course, now.
At some point, he will impregnate his own biological daughters. And those ones,
Jesus Christ.
They all kinds of stuff in the name of Jesus. Remember the Jones stuff in America here. The David Cohen thing that happened in Webco. Remember, people like Guru Maharaji, nobody, even as we're talking of this TB Joshua zone now, allegations are trailing the activities of Guru Maharaji.
Yes.
He, at the outskirts of Ibadan, the Lagos-Ibadan highway there.
Yeah, I saw him on TV one time. I'm like, I didn't know this guy is still alive.
Nigerian government using religion as a major dose of hypnotizing people and keeping them in subjugation and making sure they follow like the mumu we all are. They will not go there to check out all the allegations of whatever has been going on there. But you know what? You don't believe all of them for what they claim. They are there, the big pastors. They're just profiteering on the sweat of the poor.
Like Chidima said, it's a matter of power and absolute powers. And when you have those things in place and you mix them together with human beings that feel like they can get away with stuff. Anything goes, But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments.
I agree with you.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the chat, in the comment later on. If you're watching a replay, let us know your thoughts about this TB Joshua thing that's about to go crazy. But we will be right back. We'll be right back. All right, so this Rivers crisis, you're going to have to bring me up to speed with the Rivers crisis thing. I'm going to play a short video, and then you can bring us up to speed with Rivers, WIKE. I even saw WIKE. I don't know if he gave some cash to somebody that they went to secondary school together. He discovered the person among the crowd, pulled them together, give them some kind of, you could tell that he gave that person something, But anyway, there's all kind of stuff like that going on. But I'm going to play this short video, and then we can talk about, let's see if we can, learn something from Rivers State and Governor, what is it, Inyosem, or what's his name?
Oh my God, Yosem Wike.
Yosem, who is now, the, what do they call the people that are leading the federal capital now? That's what he is now, right?
The Minister of Federal Capital Territory.
Minister of Federal Capital Territory. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm going to play this short video, and then we'll take it from there.
That's why you can speak to your people in the language they understand, and they will always answer you. When it's all about politics, if you cannot make impact. Politics is about impact. If you want to be a successful politician, you must impact on your people. Isn't that correct? Correct. When you call your people will listen to you. Your people will answer you. It's not true. It's true. Just this is a private visit, and Victor has to make us on the road. When the time comes, we'll know who is in charge or who is not in charge.
All right, so let's leave it at that. When the time comes, we will know who is in charge and who is not in charge. The title of this segment, Rivers Crisis Unveiled, WIKE'S bold claim on leadership in testing times. What is going on with Rivers State? Please bring us up to speed. And I didn't know that WIKE is still involved in Rivers State. I thought it was on the Federal Capital Territory now. What's going on? Tell us.
Yes, like a fella Nicola Kokuti would put it, you have to come out jaga jaga for road. The jaga jaga that exists, that is the substance of whatever is going on there, is the accusation and counter accusation that a deal was brokered on the back of Nigerian people, that Nyesom Wike, as Godfather, had outlined how much of public funds must always be given back to him, that he had taken possession of the official state jets, airplanes, I think 2, belonging to the government and the people of the Rivers State.
Really?
Yes. Fubara, the man he anointed as a successor, was going to play ball initially at some point, like people do. Like they sometimes kick in Nigeria against their so-called benefactors. You understand? The
Godfather. Right, kind of like similar to Unbowed and Tinubu back then, right?
Right. So
okay,
but that of Unbowed and Tinubu was not that blatant that Tinubu was looking for return. It was some power brokers in the neighborhood who said they ought to be the ones clearing the refuse, garbage, whatever, as contractors in Lagos and Ambode was not giving them patronage.
Right.
That mingling with other extraneous political issues, they demanded that Tinubu must see to it that Ambode did not make a second time. But in this case of Fubara and Izoga at the top, pardon my
Oga at the top. I got you.
that is Yeson Wike. Somebody wants a whole state governor with the enormous executive power at his disposal to continue to answer to him as his lacking.
That's what he means by when the time comes.
We know who is in charge.
We know who is in charge.
That every Nigerian must be happy on. This was a crime committed in the private arrangement that led to the exchange of leadership baton from Wike to Fubara. That must be set aside. For me, my analytical mind is telling me that a crime must have been committed. Then, to the extent that Bola Tinubu actually encouraged a situation in which Fubara could decamp from PDP, come over to APC, and then everything will be fine, as follow-up to the fact that 27 lawmakers had moved into APC already en masse. No major leadership crisis at the national level warranting that. Constitutionally, they should have their seat declared vacant. They went AWOL. They went AWOL from PDP that first presented them. So, as somebody who I first visited Port Harcourt as a kind of a faith pilgrim. I guess that would be 1987 or 88 as a member of Anglican Youth Fellowship. When I got to Port Harcourt, it was almost like seeing Port Harcourt and dying. Like they say, see Paris and die.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, Port Harcourt was such a beautiful, attractive, indeed, answering to its motto, Garden City. Thereafter, I have been there to also check on the so-called turnaround maintenance of the refineries being handled them by Chrome Consortium, owned by Sir Emeka Ofo. When Obasanjo was trying to remove a subsidy during his first time in office. I have visited Port Harcourt, even in certain circumstances that almost led to us getting killed. When we traveled there with the then Minister of Information and Culture, Chief Dapo Sarumi, we had gone there to commiserate with a family whose son and the wife got killed one Christmas morning in Lagos State. So we had gone there to commiserate with that family, and that family welcomed us with a with a gun, wanting to kill the minister and all of us that came with him. So, what am I saying? Port Harcourt has been reduced to a shadow of itself because of the shameless face-off between these two political gladiators. Yes. Wike is not minding the job he has at hand now. Like,
what is the job he has at hand? But to maintain his political. I know that, but do they really care?
No, he's a double-faced prostitute. He's a double-faced political prostitute. Yes, you don't know if he fully belongs to PDP. You don't know if he belongs in APC. And because Tinubu is benefiting from such a nonsense that is rubbishing Nigeria's claim to practicing republicanism and what do you call it? Presidential system of government. Nobody is able to rein him in because at the center of this, power is the name of the game. I mean, yes, Wike must be propped up to undermine the stability and the peace of River State. And he has done that serially. He has done that consistently. Remember the way he became Judas Iscariot against his former boss, Rotimi Amechi, during the time of Lord Jonathan. The same thing he has done against the entire PDP structure today. Breaking that party, trying to break that party down the middle.
So let me ask this question, sir.
Yes.
Let me ask this question. Is he would you consider him an agent of division in River State today?
Worse than that. Worse than that. Yes.
Is that precisely his job to create that division? And was he sent by the cabals beyond? Go ahead.
Yes, he has his piper. He has his pipers elsewhere. The tune that you see him, all those his chameleonic dance and dancing sometimes, pardon my language, like a drunken monkey. All those things. You know, he is being puppeteered. You know, he's being pimped. So yes, because I called him a prostitute, that he has a pimp. He is being pimped by federal structure, and they don't even care if Nigeria is reduced to a shadow of what it ought to be by turning Nigeria.
They don't care.
Yes, they want to turn Nigeria to a one-party state. Who benefits from that, other than making the place to look like any of those failed civilizations of the past, like any of those impossible African countries? Yes. So Wike must try to discover who he is, try to secure his own place in history, because all these things that appear so funny today, a time is going to come that is going to look back. Oh, why did I allow myself to be pawned like this? Why did I allow myself to be used as a willing tool? He is just an agent against his own people and even his own self-survivor. I do not know how to play the man like Jason Wike. Other than
let me read this excerpt from.
That's being a useful idiot.
Let me read this excerpt from Punch News. It says the former governor has been at loggerheads with the state governor Siminalai Fubara. The situation led to a situation where lawmakers loyal to the minister served the governor an impeachment notice. With the intervention of President Bola Tinubu, however, the lawmakers who defected to the APC from the People's Democratic Party have withdrawn the impeachment notice. But during the visit, Wike said, forget about these hungry noisemakers on the road. When the time comes, we will know who is in charge and who is not in charge. There is a time for everything. This is not time for politics. When the time comes, we will know who is who. Go ahead.
Let's take it bit by bit. Isn't that condescending? Isn't that demeaning to use such a language on the?
But was that the strategy? That, what I'm interested in, right, Chief, was that the strategy?
It's not a strategy. What you see is a roughneck, somebody who lacks decorum and respect for his own people, describing them as hungry people on the street. And then who told him he's in charge? Is any of us in charge of anything when you look at the fact that you may be here today and tomorrow you are no more?
It's clearly. Do you think you did say it's a decorum thing, right? You don't think it's been intentional with that type of language?
It's been indecorous. He's using that kind of undignified language on the people of Rivers, who are the hungry people. He himself, go and check. Was he born into any stupendous wealth? Did he not come from somewhere? What is his source? This is a newfound wealth, becoming a novus rich, that is making him to now talk in an uncouth, disrespectful way on the people who is not, by the way, who is not hungry in Nigeria of today. Unless you are unless you are the people forcing
more or less everybody's hungry now. Yeah.
That is it. So for him to see himself as us versus them, he is in paradise. Everybody in Nigeria, everyone else is in hell. What a shame. I have no kind word for people like Wike. He should get serious for once. He should get serious for once. Yes, his act is beyond fact. His conduct is beyond absurd. I see him as being a useful idiot, a village idiot for the moment.
I will learn.
Yes.
I will learn more about. I'm learning about WIKE and River State for the first time. I'm sure we're going to cover more because it's a crisis. We're going to cover more of it as time goes on.
It's a developing situation. You see, yes, he's an interlock. You think you have seen it all. Something another phase of the drama would unfold tomorrow. So it's a continuum.
Does one last question about this to you, right? Does Rotimi Amechi, who by way of your network we met once upon a time here in New York City, right? Does he play? Does he play? We met him, right?
Yes, in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, yes. So I remember. Yeah. Does he play? Because Rotimi Amechi is the River State ex-governor too, right? Does he play any kind of role in this? In what is going on right now?
Well, I do not know. It will be surreptitious. It will be covert. It's not that open. It will be tacit. It's not something that is open. You know, it's been quiet for some time. The last time he spoke about the people, I mean, whoever is going to just, rise the people being able to take charge of their destiny, and how through a careful process of observations, you find out that, the kind of people Nigerians are. You know, he claims to be minding other things now. I think the last I heard of him was that he was at the law school and, trying to become a lawyer. But, you know, he's also had his own stuff with Nigerians, having to construct a rail line that leads to nowhere, or middle of nowhere in Niger Republic, all to be a good monitor for Emperor Buhari. In the last
Emperor Buhari, wala.
Yeah, what Nigeria ran under that man who was never really there. That presence of mind was never there. What Nigerian had was a kind of imperial president. Yes, so it was a wasted opportunity. Anyway, I never gave Buhari any chance because I studied him right from his foray into Nigerian public space, and I remember I described him as an indisciplined officer. And you don't need to. Everybody say, his discipline is this. He's never disciplined.
But wait, are you saying the person? He was the one who created war against the discipline, right? That was him, right?
Discipline. When he created that war, why did he not listen? Why did he not submit himself for prosecution for taking the gun bought with Nigerian taxpayers' money to sack a duly elected democratic government?
Buhari has to be the greatest crook I've seen in my time of paying attention to Nigerian politics. Honestly,
the worst serpentine character that Nigeria has ever seen. That is the guy. But you know, this God that everybody praises to be the God of this universe is so good. He waited to use him and expose him thoroughly that this guy is just as worthless as anything. So all the years that he pretended to be the Messiah with his messianic complex.
You know what I would like to see? You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a documentary of the journey of Buhari and how it ended. I would like to see a 1-hour documentary.
Nobody is going to give you that. Just do that documentary in your mind. Have a mental documentary.
Jesus Christ. That was rough.
Yes, this is a man that absolutely was exposed as a fraud. Everything about him, fraud. Nothing original. Are you going to talk of him being an active collaborator in the looting of Nigeria during Sani Abacha's time? All of them. Even look at the one they call. See,
Nigerians are still many Nigerians are still obsessed with the idea that they need a disciplined leader, and they probably need to go back to military. Many Nigerians are still upset with that.
Have you had a Nigerian comedian, that guy who does skits, after everything all said and done, he says, do I even know what I'm talking about? These people you are describing, do they know what they are talking about?
Usually not. They're just looking.
Yes. Just say something. They just have something to say. They want to say something simple.
Just have something to say.
Yes.
Listen, I have a question for the audience. The chat, because if I leave him, he will keep going and going. So I have not too far. Welcome. However, if you're following this Rivers Crisis Unveiled thingy, please let us know your opinions in the comment area. We would like to know, because it's a story that I have a feeling we're going to keep covering as time goes on. So please let us know your opinion, because that will also help us drive the way we curate the content. All right. With that being said, we'll be right back. Let's cover some other stories. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, the president of Nigeria had something to say. I guess this is typical in the first. I don't know what this speech is about. I also know that he signed. I think they said this last week, Nigeria is now in the $100 billion in debt. So I don't know what the take of the chief is going to be, but let's listen to about 1 minute of what the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's see what he has to say in the first minute or so on this speech from this last week.
Dear compatriots, it gives me immense joy to welcome each and every one of you, young and old, to this brand new year 2024. We must lift up our hand to Almighty God in gratitude for His grace and benevolence to our country and our lives in the year 2023 that has just gone by. Though the past year was very challenging one, it was eventful in so many ways. For our country, it was a transition year that saw a peaceful, orderly, and successful transfer of power from one administration to another, marking the yet another remarkable step in our 24 years of unbroken democracy. Sometimes unexpressed frustrations of my fellow citizens. I know for a fact that some of our compatriots are even asking if this is how our administration want to renew their hope. Their compatriots, take this from me. The time may be rough and tough. However, our spirit must remain unbowed, because tough times never last. We are made for this.
Unless we're talking about Nigeria.
Never to flinch, never to falter. The socio-economic challenges of today should energize and rekindle our love and faith in the promise of Nigeria. Our current circumstances should make us resolve to work better for the good of our beloved nation. Our situation, we are moving a step further in our quest to restart local refinery of petroleum products with Port Harcourt Refinery and the Dangote Refinery, which shall fully come on stream. To ensure constant food supply, security, and affordability for industrial workers this new year, it is not only good economics to do this, it's also a morally and politically correct thing to do. I took an oath to serve this country and give my best at all times. Like I said in the past, No excuse for poor performance from any of my appointees will be good enough. It is the reason I put in place a policy coordination, evaluation, monitoring, and delivery unit in the presidency to make sure that governance output improves in the living condition of our people.
All right, so enough there. It's a 14 minutes speech titled "Our Spirit Must Remain Unbowed Because Tough Times Never Last." Did you listen to the full speech, and what was your overall take on Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's?
Let me make a confession. I did not really patiently wait the delivery out. I did not wait to the end
Okay.
because apart from the penchant of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to always assume this fake accent. You can't place it whether it's Nigerian, whether it's
Not you calling out his accent.
well, that's not me. He should try to be himself, and because of whatever he's battling with,
It's better than Baba Bubu now. It's better than Bubu.
No, that one was always that one was always
That one was giving you the extreme real.
No, that one. You know what it means to slumber while you are having a conversation. He never even had any conversation with Nigerians anyway. He never
finishes one sentence.
You know, don't let us talk about Buhari today, please, because
all right.
I mean, part of the reason why I lost them interest. The only good thing about Tinubu's speech, let me tell you, is the fact that in place of the worn-out cliche of fellow Nigerians, now he is learning to want to try to have this connection with Nigerians by referring to us as their compatriots.
Compatriots.
Yeah, Enyara or something. To that extent, it is good. But you also look at the poor job that went into packaging that speech itself. It was done in Abuja. They never really remembered to redact the text. So he carried that, and he was supposed to be talking from Lagos, where he had gone for the holidays. So all these things. But let us also look at what he's talking. Like I said about the comedy sketch. Do I know what I'm talking about? He's been talking of Dangote refinery coming, NNPC refinery. The only person that speaks the truth. Why I can believe a little about the Dangote refinery is because a good friend of mine, Femi Shoneye, now, because I know him very well as somebody who can be trusted, who is truthful. You know, he's the spokesperson of NNPC now. I hope it does not change. And you know, Femi Shoneye is also a gentleman soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an airman, for that matter, in the American Air Force. So I give that to him. American soldiers don't trifle. They don't play around. So if and he also has a background in investigative journalism.
Right.
So I mean, as well in sports reporting. So that said, that's the only thing I can really take from there. That's something that come from NNPC. But for this government, for this man, who put his hand on the equivalent of nuclear button while being sworn on oath. At his inauguration, his maiden speech was to push the nuclear button, and then Nigeria's economy since then has been in the doldrums.
Are you talking about the subsidy?
First subsidy is gone, and then Nigeria's economy went with it. So that kind of person who's the functioning of his mind you cannot trust. Well, so because of the epochal moment of New Year, the speech is used. That is what we want to take to the bank. I hope it does not. Everything is said that day. I hope it will work very well. Let me trust that it may want to work very well. But so far, I hope it's not giving us Nigerians dot check. That's all I want to say about the speech.
Okay, all right. We'll look forward to it. It looks like some of the sentiment. Let me read some of the sentiments about the speech to you. Somebody said, "We may be far away from ultra-modern utopian Rubicon. What matters is that we pay attention to what makes us 10% good, responsible, lawful, and intelligent Nigerians, and even other 90% lawless, irresponsible, and foolish Nigerians get closer and closer to our utopian Rubicon by unconditional patriotism, greatness, mindfulness, thoughtfulness, and strict adherence to rule of law. For unless we cross the Rubicon of global relevance, humane goodness, and fear of God, it will never be Uhuru. God bless Nigeria as we deliberately, sincerely eschew evil and wickedness amongst us and do good to each other. Happy New Year, Mr. President." What's your take on that? Do you know what that person's talking about?
Oh yeah, beyond the bombastic composition, the truth of the matter is that the kernel of what he has just said is that making sure that we don't just say we have democracy, and making sure that is ancillaries like rule of law, everything it takes, justice, fairness, whatever, that everything keys in. That's essentially what he has said there. So I cannot agree any less. Just that I wish Bola Tinubu well, but so far, let me adopt the attitude of the late Attorney General and Minister of Justice of Nigeria, Sibola Ige. Let me watch him from the side as he don't look.
All right, here's another one really quickly. Okada Tinubu change our constitution to that of 1963 so that states will be given autonomy. The federal government must devolve power to the states for them to manage their resources and security issues independently. Each state should generate its revenue. Oil money stays in the Niger Delta. North relies on agriculture and solid minerals. Lagos keeps its VAT and taxes. State policing should be implemented. Alternatively, let Nigeria break into simpler, manageable states. What's your take on that?
I agree with some things he said, not totally. I just want us to be contemporaneous. Whatever it's going to take to have Nigeria working very well for everyone at this moment, for both the folks at home and the others in the diaspora. That is what we must pursue. To be fixated or to be hooked on the idea of a 1963 arrangement, if that 1963 what's it called, Republican Constitution, the one that turned Nigeria to a republic, if it was so perfect, so why did it lead to the coup of 1966?
Exactly.
Why? So
people always try to revert back to something that obviously failed.
Yes, because they are not looking at the tapestry, the what led us to the next point, and from the next point to where we are, on and on like that. So to now say 1963, it's just because people want to bamboozle the younger ones. I was not even born in 1963 anyway, but I'm also an avid reader, and I read virtually everything that came my way by way of Nigeria's history. And some of my folks were active participants in the events of the First Republic, Second Republic, and I think even let me I mean,
leave it there for now. Okay.
This truth.
Okay.
Let me share this truth with you.
You want to share? Go for it.
At age 9, I voted in Nigeria, and that I was conscious that I was voting for Tifobafemi Awolowo. So,
wow.
Let nobody come and tell us that. In fact, even by the time the local government election that was held before the 1979 election, I think that should be 76. When that was held, yes, my uncle was also an elected councillor that year, and there was this, what do you call Ashebi and Co? They call that one.
Yeah.
The one at that age. Mine was sold for me. So I'm really conscious of it, and I was part of the euphoria and the joy of my uncle getting elected as a councillor, and later in 1979 as a member of House of Representatives. So I know what I'm talking about. If all these arrangements had been very perfect, so why would there be all the changes in the? So for contemporary times, for the times in which we live, yes, we can convoke that conference, whether sovereign or anything, whatever you want to use. But let Nigerians talk. Don't come and tell us the based argument that Nigeria's unity is not negotiable. You want to stay together. Why would you not negotiate? If you want to marry a wife, won't you also negotiate with the person?
It's all about negotiation, and this is one of the things I battle with both here on SharpEdgeNewsTV and Man of Prestige. Just people making it okay and understanding that the nature of life is about negotiations.
Whether it's in marriage or what's it called, sociological stuff like politics and all that. If you do not negotiate, what you are conducting is called nothing other than rape. It could be statutory rape.
Right, and you're probably going to shoot yourself on the legs. We use the word. We use the fruit to replace the word to keep it safe. And
that's right.
Yeah, so we say grip.
Yes, so that is why Nigerians are in the kind of quandary we are today. It's a struggle to keep all of us together. So why should we not talk to ourselves? And you know the definition of democracy by the late Shifa Adekunle Ajashi. You talk, I talk. That is democracy.
Right. Here's the last one for you on this topic. This person said the last year was hell on earth. They snatch it, grab it, and run away with it party. APC is getting richer while Nigerians are dying. We know fuel subsidy is still around. The name was just changed. The cost of running government is too high. The security services are inept and incompetent. What do you have to say about this?
Well, so long they continue to make governance an exclusive gang power. They talk of subsidy. I mean, they talk of palliatives. I talk of economic stimulus. How to grow the things you put in to make the economic productive. It's not science. It's not rocket science. That is number one. And then the so-called subsidy thing they are talking of. Honestly, this is the type kill they have on the Nigerian public. Not everything about subsidy is criminal. Having a system that perfectly without some of the subsidy or the other. Yes, you want to check the criminality around that regime of subsidy in Nigeria. I'm all for that. But to now remove it all as if there is something elsewhere for the Nigerian poor to fall on, or the Nigerian public. Let's even talk of both the poor and the rich.
Would you consider that it was irresponsible?
No.
Do you consider that it was irresponsible?
Yes, it was irresponsibly done. I said it was irresponsibly done. Remember, I compared the way Tinubu announced the removal of that subsidy as the equivalent of having somebody who has unstable character and mind, like Donald Trump, putting his hand or toying with the nuclear bottle, wants to annihilate the entire world. That is what Tinubu has foisted on Nigeria, on Nigerians. So it was done irresponsibly. was done irresponsibly. And that would be a major, would always, these people, they don't really respond to the optics or what's it called, the blowback on their policies when it comes to governance. They simply grab, run like this our friend has said. So what they do is to buy people outrightly. Like the other day, I was listening to somebody eulogizing Aiyedatiwa. I said, is it not the same elections that I went to report on, that I observed, witnessed, how people were being induced financially to vote one way or the other? Is that not what they are now applauding this man as having midwife as a Democrat? That these people, I mean, all these people who give false eulogies, they should search their consciences. So, the same thing about the administration of APC. They have done this irresponsibly. Nigerians are wriggling in this, but you know what? When the time for the next election comes, all the stolen, all the looted stuff will be rolled out, and you would see them. You would see our people again, forgetting that they have been in bondage, they have been in penury. They will still embrace them because the name of the game is cash out.
Absolutely. Let me say a quick shout out to Rena, Becky, Mickey, 100, and Life with Natu. Those are our newest subscribers. Shout out to you. Welcome aboard. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We have 2 more stories to cover. Okay. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live or we drop videos. We'll be right back. All right, let's talk about Sanwo-Olu and the Okada people of Lagos State. I'm going to play this short video and then we'll talk about it. Let's see here.
Governance in action, you may say, and the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu apprehending some traffic offenders on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. From the pictures you see there, a soldier and 4 others for plying one way with motorcycles. Now, Governor Sanwo-Olu, who appeared quite furious and seen going after the culprits and assisted by security aides, says the act of lawlessness must be brought to an end in the state. One of the offenders identified himself as a soldier, prompting Governor Sanwo-Olu to vow that for that reason he would be locked up. He also engaged one of the motorcycle passengers, pointing out that it is wrong to ply a bike on one way, as she could be knocked down by any fast-moving vehicle. This is not the first time Governor Sanwo-Olu would personally arrest motorcycle riders and passengers plying one way on the expressway. 2 years ago, precisely in December of 2021, a similar situation played out on the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway.
And they're taking you one way, and you put it on Facebook on a road that I've done. Is it good? And they will not hit you, you go and fall and you die. They'll say government killed you. What a shame. And we're all praying that you have a better country. Post it and tell people. This is what the kind of thing that you see. In 20 minutes, I'm sure they will still carry another person.
All right. So there's another video that I'm going to play. Do you want to speak on that first? There's 2 other videos on this topic.
Yeah, number 1.
Okay.
Whether Governor Sanwo-Olu was doing that from the heart, or it was a stunt that the politicians are capable of, whichever way. I don't want to interpret his intent and purpose here.
Intentions. Right. Good point.
Yes, whatever the spirit behind that words. But
that's a good point. You know where I always argue with this point you just made? When people say people turn on camera to give charity, I was like, before, who cares? He's giving charity. What does it matter? Like, first of all, we don't know if you're accurate with your accusation that it wasn't authentic. They actually gave.
Yes. So in this case, let me applaud the action of Governor Tinubu. Governor Sanwo-Olu. Sorry, Of course, you don't blame me for calling him Tinubu, because people see him at times as
The same person.
Tinubu's
The same person.
Tinubu's a man for the Lagos State, but it's all right. The gentleman governor did what any reasonable leader, elected leader, democratic leader would have done on that occasion. Because the most basic of all rights, when you look at the Bill of Rights, the most basic of all rights is the right to life. And you cannot sit by and say you are a governor or you are a leader, president, councillor, whatever. You allow any of your citizens to write themselves to early death or avoidable death. That's what he has done there. See, when I first, after several years of being in exile in those days, and then I returned to Nigeria, I had a nephew of mine. If he's watching this now, I will be laughing somewhere in Aiyedatiwa. I had him drive me to go and see Governor Sanwo-Olu, then, who was the governor of Ekiti State. And then this guy was riding against traffic, and I told him no. He said, "Well, you are just being an American. Here we ride it the way you cannot ride.
No, that's wrong. Ride. That's crazy. Oh my God.
The way you want. Said, you may get killed or you kill somebody, then you are going to be trouble with the law." I said, "Which law in Nigeria?" I said, "Okay. When you get into that trouble, you will understand." It is the same. That same attitude was what you saw a commercial bike rider demonstrating there. But what still? The enabler, the man who was patronizing his service, who identified himself as a serviceman, as a military man.
Oh, hold on. Before you get into that, right? Let me play that particular video. That way people can know what we're talking about. The military person. Okay? Hold on. Hold tight. All right. We do have this young man, it seems like. Let's play this video really quickly. It says another soldier slams. Okay, I guess there were a couple of them. This headline says another soldier slams Governor Sanwo-Olu for arresting his colleague. Let me just play it.
Soldier wey dey suffer day and night. How much dey pay soldiers? I hear say they now shoot where iron dey that last corporal hand. You just come from, you don't take your drug, they call yourself governor. They misbehave up and down. Who the fucking hell are you, governor? So who the fucking hell are you? This say na me you go jam that day. I no go. You are calling me useless. I will useless you there. Almighty. Don't you kuwarka. Yeah, my budget down, Governor Sanwo-Olu. Calling a soldier useless. Serving you, and if you want to do your dirty work, we call soldiers. You are mad. You are mad, and all of you where they comment rubbish, you are stupid. Go check Ojo Road good. Come see Ozula, everything costs. Soldier where they suffer.
All right, what's your take on that? That's one of, I guess, a couple of soldiers.
Let me tell you, if yes, we all want this to be better for our masses, that our masses should be respected and all that. Mm-hmm. But let me also tell you that if actually this bloke who made this video was a soldier, he should be identified for being brazenly insubmissive to civil leadership, civil authority, and be slammed some discipline, if not court-martialed. Because to think of that kind of effrontery, you know, what's his name? Someone who has not done anything bright, like saying, "Oh, you are summarily dismissed. I'm doing this." No, he made it a teachable moment, and for crying out loud. Can you imagine any American soldier coming out to call out the governor of a state like this? Because after all, if
it doesn't make sense.
Let us listen to each other. If Nigeria were running a true federalism, Governor Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State will be the commander in chief
of the National Guard stationed in that state.
Wait, Chief, I'm confused. Is he not the chief security officer of that state?
Yes. So what I'm driving at, the deduction I want to make is that as the chief security officer of Lagos State, if that soldier actually lives in Lagos, he has just disrespected the superior, the person in charge of governance, law, and order in Lagos State right there. He should be identified and disciplined because he does not seem to get it. You see, this is why a major reason why the Nigerian military cannot hold any fort or territory against insurgents and terrorists. Look at him. What he's trying to do to Sanwo-Olu, you can imagine what he would do to ordinary Nigerian folks. So if Nigerian citizens dread you because you are a soldier, you think they would trust you enough to volunteer intelligence to you on how to stop the next act of terrorism? This is what they blame it on leaders alone. But each of us must accept.
Nigeria has a tendency to blame everything on leaders alone.
Oh yes, I've had to stop soldiers somewhere in Accra at a gas station. They drove in. Everybody had been on the queue. These people, fooling themselves in what's it called? In their mentality of entitlement. They drove in and brought drums, and everybody was on. So I was in my royal garb. I went straight to their captain and told him off. This thing you are doing is ungodly. It is really, really very wicked. People are in the sun, and you see me here, and you do this. I had the option of going to their barracks that day to go and report them to their superior, but I would not do that. I said my own people thought they would descend on me. I dared them, but they would not do it. The man who led them there started apologizing. And everybody thought I would use that as an opportunity to get my tank filled. I said, no, I will wait for my turn. I did not challenge them just because I wanted to benefit unduly from the situation.
Right.
Just because what is right is for you to wait for your turn. And you don't ride roughshod on your citizens. So if Governor Sanwo-Olu were not a governor, you see that person, I don't want to descend to his level.
Right.
Look at
let me play one more video. This person's Go ahead.
I hope the guy can get some. I hope the guy can get some toothpaste and brush and get that nonsense coming.
That was saying.
His mouth.
I know.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe it's somebody who doesn't care about life. Maybe it's somebody who is not even an officer at all. But I agree with you. If that person is actually an officer of any type, of any factor of the military in Nigeria,
he has to be identified and disciplined.
Absolutely. Because I'm looking at there's another video here from somebody who is supposedly a high-ranking Nigerian soldier who reacted to the video of Governor Sanwo-Olu ordering the arrest of his junior colleague who flouted a traffic rule in Lagos. So I'm going to play that right now, and then we'll come back to talk about that real quickly.
That was a Governor Sanwo-Olu, the executive governor of Lagos State. You are across some Okada riders that go through the wrong way. What the Okada rider did is say, good, no, it's not good. They are passing the wrong way. And as a governor, what he did is right. But see a serving military officer that introduced himself to you, a lance corporal, a young soldier that was sent on an errand. And he was unfortunately, he climbed that Okada. And he was begging you, Mr. Governor, he was begging you that I'm sorry, sir. I'm a soldier. I'm sorry. What do you expect that young guy to say? But because you're governor, this ain't one way you passed 2 days earlier. You have been passing wrong way. You have been passing one way in Lagos State. So are you above the law now? The last corporal guy that you arrest there, he has been shot in Bronu. He has a sling in his arm, an iron. He has an iron here. These are the people that fight the bandit that you and your co-workers, and he's just begging you. And you are insulting his father. Go and call your father. This is why I'm going to lock you up. A governor, I don't blame you. Sanwo-Olu, I don't blame you at all. Because from the beginning, we know what your brother did during the election in Lagos Island. When he was people that follow PDP. We have the video all over. Most of us are serving in the UN. Some are in Sambisa Forest. Some are in Bronu. Christmas Day, people were course. None of you say anything. But a soldier that did a mistake by climbing Okada that go through the wrong way. And he was begging you. Let me cast your mind back, Mr. Governor. But Fashola was a governor before you. He arrested a colonel, a redneck in Nigerian army, for passing the bus lane. He did it with a humility as a man who is well educated, not a tot like you. Everybody deserves second chance. You should have told that guy, oh, you are an officer, you should know better. Okay, don't do it again. That is the reason why I'm asking you. That's the reason I'm arresting you. See, you're talking like a mubo. Ori e ti daru, ori e. Ori e o ti daru. You want to call him a governor? Àwọn táàtù tó ń lò nígboro Èkó tó ń da Èkó rú Lagos. Ó arrest wọn. Ó arrest wọn rárá. Sójà ló ń arrest and you ló ń káká sókè. Kí ló dé? You should be ashamed of yourself, Sanwo-Olu. But let me remind you, your 4 years will soon be finished now. Do whatever you like. Of Lagos State. Where's my own governor today? Where's Akeredolu today? You should be ashamed of yourself, Sanwo-Olu. You should be ashamed of yourself. Nigerian soldiers are all over the world. We are in UN. We are in everywhere. We're serving the nation to make the country proud. People die in Sambisa Forest. People die in Plateau. Everywhere. Soldier. And the same soldier.
Hello?
I don't blame you.
I'm here.
Well,
civilian like you. Because you are chief executive of a state. You are above the law yourself. How many times have you go through the wrong way?
I'm here. You can hear me, right?
How many times have you go through the wrong way?
Okay.
So you are above the law, right?
All right.
A young soldier.
Let's leave this Baba alone because it looks like he's already starting to repeat himself.
The truth of the matter is that that is the typical street bravado situation in Nigeria. Look at the way he's talking about the governor. See, people are just trying to be licentious. So because you carry a car, because you have been at the theater of war, you've seen action, and you have injuries. That's why you come out of the military and behave as if you cannot be part of the civil society. See, life is about rights, duties, obligations, and responsibilities. So, all these things that he has just said, they are calling the governor out and they're saying all kinds of stuff. Yes, he should also, he is protected by free speech. I don't even know if they have that in Nigeria. So long as you are not, you are not crossing the line. I don't know, because in that country, you do any. Say you see anyhow. Remember what Asari Dokubo will say. So this man that is talking is missing the point. Would I say because because I've been injured in the line of duty as a journalist, that I'm legally blind now, with that kind of disability, I should be responsible. Of course, if I break the law in America here, or even in Nigeria there, I will find myself in jail, and after jail, I may as well end up in prison. So what it means is that, like Yorubas will say, "Awolumate, Nware Lumo." When you are in a place that you don't want to be put to shame, you just have to comport yourself. So this old man that is talking, referring to people as a bloody, referring to the governor as a bloody civilian, you see, it's just being irresponsible as well.
That's a good point.
I don't want to talk too much about. I don't want to dignify his rant. I don't want to dignify his rant. It doesn't get the point. Yes.
No, he doesn't. I agree with you that two wrongs does not make it right, right? So now specifically the part where he said, and I'm looking at some of the comments. He said something about the governor's convoy also take this one way oftentimes. Is that a valid argument?
That is absolutely wrong. That is a valid argument. It is absolutely wrong for the governor to drive against traffic. It is wrong. Right. It is wrong. Yes. See, let me contextualize that. I like the fact that Nigerians are bold, and that our democracy would gain some more if we can stand up to the excesses of people in executive positions, no doubt, or elected positions, no doubt. You remember how a former governor of if you read the book "The Man Died" by Professor Wole Soyinka, his prison memoirs way back from
I didn't read it. No.
Yes, if you read it, you will remember that it was the fact that he monitored the unlawful arrest of a journalist who had reported the lavish parties being thrown by people in power, particularly, I think it was Governor Johnson or whoever that was in charge of Lagos then. So that journalist was arrested and beaten until he died. So so that was how Soyinka came up with the title of his prison memoir, The Man Died. And if I may paraphrase him, as somebody who does not have the opportunity of reading anymore because of the challenge of going blind. But I remember I said, in everyone who keeps silent in the face of oppression, the man dies. I'm just essentially paraphrasing it. And the well-known professor of political science at the London School of Economics, late Harold Lasky, had also captured something similar to that. When everybody or people who have influence keep silent in the face of all the stuff gripping the affluent world, they contribute to the corrupt, afflict society. I'm just paraphrasing, but that's what they said. When people are able to call out elected leaders who act with recklessness on our road, wherever, even in our interpersonal relationships as citizens, I give it to them. But we must do it responsibly. That is the point I'm making. Whether it is the president that comes to Lagos and tries to shut down
the whole city.
When presidents move in America, yes, we respect them, we give it to them, but they also move without even
there's so many times in New York City. So many times in New York City that the president will be around. You might see some clog up in certain parts of the city, but it's not shutting down the whole city. It's not going to shut down. They will shut down some parts, So
yes. So these situations call for concern, and when they are red flags, that no, you still are citizens, and you must feel what we feel. that is good. But to go ahead and use uncouth expressions on the governor, that is what I agree with. But if the governor is caught helping himself with the resources of the state in, an unlawful way, when it's not appropriated, if he's stealing, or calling what it is, that would be good.
Right. Yeah. So in everything right now, from all of this assessment, it looks like everybody is wrong. Nigerian people, Naira Marley said, "We're everybody." But I think there were some good points that was made there. I think definitely the governor, regardless of what the intentions are, he was making a good statement by saying this is not allowed.
That's right.
Also, and then
also if you are a gentleman soldier, certain conduct must not be pinned on you in a way that is wrong. Yes.
Right, regardless of what you're reacting to. That's a good point. See, I keep saying it, like every action is a reaction, but you don't get to blame your reactions, which are the actions you're responsible for. You don't get to blame them on the causes of it.
I recommend for the average soldier on the street today, more than the contemporary soldier, to go back, do some, carry out some self-education. Read Plato, read Socrates, read Aristotle, Alexander, all of them. The noble place of the military person, that noble profession. Why it is so noble? Yes. We need them. Like Jesus would put it. Can there be a better love?
Oh my God! Can we imagine a society where they don't exist?
Yes, they let their lives down, and whether in Nigeria, America, all over the world,
everywhere,
we are always grateful for the services, for the works of the military. But they accuse the force to dominate folks, to feel like they are superior. People will call that is just it.
Let me read the top 3 comments from this particular story. Somebody said, in Nigeria, everybody breaks the laws, yet blames their government for all their misfortunes. Another person said, when it takes a governor to enforce the law by himself, then the society is doomed. Yes, it's good that this has happened and it is recorded for political optics, but the Lagos State Commissioner of Police must not allow this to happen again, so the governor might concentrate on carrying out his immediate task of office. You were saying?
Yes. No, I agree with what he has said, but this he should be mindful of this additional fact. If you belong to the executive arm of government, what are you supposed to do? You execute the law. So what the governor has just done there is to really act out that constitutional role. He is the head of the executive arm of government in Lagos. He has just executed the law. Simple.
Right.
So he has not done anything wrong. No contradiction there whatsoever.
Absolutely. The third one says the bike man is a legend. Riding with the governor means he's next in command for that moment. Okay, somebody wanted to crack a little joke, but
that was good. That was good humor. But please. That
is good. Anyway. We have a couple more stories to cover. We'll be right back. Our very own Ondo State. let's talk about our very own Ondo State. Oh my God! In the past week or so, quite some interesting activities, occurrences, events from our hometown, home state, Ondo State of Nigeria, and I thought it would be necessary for us to cover some of that before we leave today. The passing of the monarchy ruler of Aiyedatiwa of Ogbese, Aiyedatiwa of Ogbese, the Oluyede of Ogbese, and then also obviously the funeral of the governor Akeredolu, who passed on, the swearing in of Governor Aiyedatiwa, the visiting of Governor Aiyedatiwa to the widow in Ibadan. I need some clarity about, did he die in Ibadan or did he die in Germany? But before we get into all of that, I'm going to play this short video and then we'll get through some of that really quickly. All right, so let's hang tight. Let me play this video. There you go.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has paid a condolence visit to the family of the former governor of the state, Rotimi Akeredolu, who died yesterday. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who took the oath of office yesterday, was accompanied by members of his cabinet and some of the state lawmakers to Akeredolu's residence in Ibadan to commiserate with them over the loss of their loved one. The governor told journalists after the visit that Rotimi Akeredolu was a courageous leader who stood for the truth.
We have to do this because he has always been our leader, a courageous one for that matter, one who has governed Ondo State in the last 6.5 to 7 years with great courage and with so many legacies that he has left behind. He's an exemplary leader, a courageous one, a leader that believed in fairness, equity, and justice. A senior advocate of Nigeria who speaks on national issues so that adjustment and proper decision can be made concerning any issue in Nigeria.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about this story here. What's your take? Just bring us up to speed. What's going on with Ondo State, I beg?
You mentioned the alleged passing of the Alayede of Ogbese, Oba Raphael Ajibola Olaleye Oluyede Isheoluwa II. You know, there are protocols and there are procedures for announcing the passing when a king joins the ancestors. So I don't want to act in breach of that. As far as everybody in Aiyedatiwa Ogbese Kingdom is concerned, you know, I'm the second ranking kingmaker in the kingdom,
right?
And all kinds of stuff are going on right now. And
gotcha.
While I don't want to really fight, I don't want to contradict what I've always believed in. Yes, they said the cabinet has passed on, but the procedure for doing that is not being followed. Diolo restarted somewhere and started fiddling with the buttons on the internet and was announcing that. That is an abomination, is a taboo. And I was told that she's been bragging that she has for breaching the tradition and the royal protocol in the kingdom, that she has the backing of Women International Federation of Women Lawyers, have the backing of Governor Aiyedatiwa, the backing of Abike Dadri and all that. I said nonsense. It's not even your place. You let the children, the princes, direct biological children, led by the first female child of the cabinet, would carry what is called Iba Obile, will come with the speed with which the man was placed on the throne to come and announce it to the kingmakers in company of the Council of Chiefs and with other members of the royal family. That is the protocol. But as an Olori, because you said you have education and all that, you sit in America and started tiddling stuff on the internet in breach of royal protocol. The people of Aiyedatiwa are saying no to that. And so everybody may have heard, but it's like hearing without being told. So that remains in the realm of speculation and rumor. The Kabiyesi, you see, he remains a good man, and we don't want anybody to rubbish his legacy. Remember, before he became Kabiyesi, he's a prominent lawyer, tough litigation lawyer. That was the man that defended the late Senator Buruji Kashamu against the attempt to be extradited by National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to come and stand for trial in the United States. This was the same man who fought so strongly to defend and absolve the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, before the Code of Conduct Tribunal, amongst other landmark cases that he handled. So, he's a great man, and I'm talking of him in the present because it remains a subject of speculation. The Olori, well educated, because the rest of us are illiterate. We are not educated. She's the one doing whatever she wants to do wherever. Nobody knows anything. And people are waiting in the palace. The family, everybody, the kingmakers are waiting to be told, to be communicated that the Kabiyesi has indeed joined the ancestors. So we don't know as of now. So that is that.
That's that.
Now, so the case of Olwarotimi Akeredolu. Oh, sorry. I was told that the Olori has even perfected an agenda saying that the Kabiyesi removed some of us as chiefs before he passed on. I said it's all lies. The Kabiyesi is not.
That is a heavy allegation.
Oh yes. So it's food for thought on the capabilities of the people we marry into royal families these days. What is the need for an Olori? Do you want to take over a kingdom into which you were not born? No woman would crown herself the king. You only follow the laid down rule, the declaration. Through which somebody can become a king. But to want to say that, the council, the Alayeden council has been dissolved by your late husband, and that when your daughter comes, she's going to affirm that. I said that is nonsense. Even the governor of Ondo State, because people do influence peddling, and that is corruption. The governor of Ondo State cannot even do that. What would be the basis? So the Council of Chiefs remains intact. Anybody that is a question after power, that is power hungry, should go and establish this is our own kingdom. Nobody should come to Aiyedatiwa and try that nonsense. And then people are reporting that they are bringing strange faces from riverine area, militants, to come and cause trouble in Aiyedatiwa.
Oh, wow.
If they meet their Waterloo in that process, just because an Olori wants to seize the throne, it will be too bad. It will be an avoidable tragedy. So I'm using this forum to inform the governor of Ondo State to call this so-called, I don't know what to say, this individual to order before she starts a major avoidable violence in our kingdom. That said, let us talk about the late governor.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I'll do. You know what I'll do. Just because you gave a lot more detail there about the the ongoing situation with the passing of the Oba Oluyede, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a quick demarcation clip just to make sure that we separate the stories. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, great. Let's talk about the late Governor Aiyedatiwa and what's going on with that situation there.
Well, as the reports have shown, and I told you exclusively in previous recordings, that Governor Aiyedatiwa was actually taken back to Germany. He was taken back to Germany. He was flown back. He was
really?
No longer. Yes, I told you, and you saw that when those Southwest governors went to receive the remains.
Right. We saw that
with Nigerian color.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that they said they went to receive the remains at the airport, arriving from where? Certainly,
Germany.
From Germany.
Right.
So, long and short of it is that people have not been completely truthful about Aiyedatiwa, and whatever positive legacies he had was really rubbished by that kind of thing. And that is almost similar to the situation that is unfolding in Aiyedatiwa's kingdom presently. Very, very sad. For them to have even drawn me out as a kingmaker to make a public, to comment on this publicly, you know that I must have been pushed to the extreme, because we hardly talk about things like this. And of course, I'm a different kind of kingmaker. If you don't want to operate in truth with the people, then why do you want to lead them? They are not your slaves. For goodness sake, you must be truthful at all times. Because that is the only thing that can stand the test of time when you are talking of a true socio-political evolution. True, radical and pragmatic development. That is the only thing that would, that will assist the system to grow. Is it in the economy? That is what you will need. So, everybody had said so many about the whereabouts of Aiyedatiwa. Some people said he was moved to Lagos. Is that we find out that he was flown in from Germany. And that's what they have received. So as we talk, it's still a moment for us to reflect soberly about the events of the last 2 days. Personally, because of the unfolding events in our own kingdom in Aiyedatiwa, I'm not going to talk too much, but we are going to have a more detailed comment about the Aiyedatiwa's farewell, the farewell event and programs. So we'll say a little for now, but people should just be honest. They should make dispassionate and honest dissection of the person, his personality. Nobody should come and paint a picture that is rosier than the truth of who he was. Yes, human rights fighter, yes. But have you seen everything that has been exposed about the way he handled the administration of Ondo State?
Right.
What is his son, the so-called Director General in charge of this and that, what he perpetrated? The billions that were frittered away. Even the ones perpetrated by Arabini, Betty Aiyedatiwa, you know, this makes me so sad. Because what is in this world that will make anybody to deprive the majority of what could necessitate us having a better and really developed society? that will make somebody to engage in primitive acquisitive tendencies. I do not understand. What we want to make anybody to subject the majority to servitude, turn a whole state, turn a modern state to a serfdom, as if we live in medieval period. I do not understand. All the answers, will be in the realm of we should just continue to imagine now. In the realm of imagination, why? So what were what are the legacies of this man? We'll leave that for some other time. But back in our kingdom in Aiyedatiwa, yes, somebody is unlawfully, illegitimately, and fraudulently trying to seize our throne. It will be, something that is supposed to be a race, even if the king has passed on, like she has announced to herself on the internet, violating the culture and tradition of our society. Everything that ought to be done traditionally, she rails against, because he says he's a Christian. None of us too is an idol worshipper. And whatever that is, I do not understand. Because I'm that sounds like some of the, we've talked about this before. I think for a while. You said what?
I think for a while this is going to continue to be some sort of conflict between the religions, traditional practices, and quote unquote progressive.
No. This person is not even in any way religious. It's just somebody that is trying to perpetrate mischief. Want to use the children as decoy for her taking over the throne. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let them bring all the what's it called? All the fighters from wherever she's importing them from. Whatever, because we are going to use lawful means. I like the military, the DSS, to their presence, their unwelcome presence in our community, and they will be flushed out. It does not matter. They will be flushed out. They will be resisted. Can you imagine the infantry of a so-called Olori to say that she will bring in militants from Sanwo-Olu to Aiyedatiwa, the interland, and that whoever
is that where she's from?
Yes.
She's from Sanwo-Olu.
And that whoever, yes, from whoever does not want her to take the throne will disappear in Aiyedatiwa and will be thrown into the creek.
Oh my God.
Yes,
that's crazy.
So the nonsense that some people try in big cities, they want to import to small towns. We'll see how that works for them, because everybody is a family there. Everybody is bonded, and apart from not even telling the chiefs, there is no there is no sobriety, no decorum to even inform the immediate siblings of the late Kabiyesi if something like that has happened. So it's like we have not had anything. There's a laid down protocol, tradition for breaking the news of the passing of a monarch. So nobody can just bamboozle us because somebody is some lawyer or not being a lawyer. What's our business with that? All of us have some education too. So yeah.
All right.
Our kingdom,
cool.
Our kingdom will survive. Whoever wants to stage a political coup in our community will be put to shame. That is it.
All right, cool. We're going to leave that at that, as he said, and then we'll cover it as things unfold. But R.I.P. to the late Governor Aiyedatiwa, and rest in peace to the late.
I join you in saying that.
Yeah, to the late Oba Oluyede as well. All right, we'll be right back. We have one more story to cover.
We have a confirmation that is dead yet.
No, we don't. All right, so I'll take that back. But there is let me say it like this: there's publications on the internet declaring this, You know, but you're right. Nothing official from
I've seen them.
the city.
I've seen them. I've seen them.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back for one last story. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, and follow if you want more of this. We'll be right back. There's one more last story that we're gonna. Well, it's not the last story. We're gonna keep being here, so make sure you're subscribed, you're following. We have tons and tons of stories like this that we're gonna be covering. But this particular story, I'm gonna read it to you. You said what?
Let me join you in appealing to our audience.
Please.
That you can be part of what we do. Most people with disabilities would stay off doing anything, not because they want to do that. It's because of the circumstance they find themselves in. In our own case, this is a business or initiative coming from somebody who is visually challenged by me, and how you can make sure that I continue to have the best of life with my team all over the world. So not the best of time to, of things to live in opulence or what have you, but to make sure that we live for our passion and we are able to carry out our what's it called? A job, practice as journalists is for you. Come to this page, like us, subscribe, spread words about us, share us, whatever you can do. Let us partner to make this the best of experience.
Awesome. That's great. All right. With that being said, this is some kind of breaking news from 3 hours ago. Just before we got on, this news broke out. But it's on Instablog Nigeria. I'm going to read it. I don't know. I can't verify any of it, but I'm just going to read, and I want to know your thoughts on it. It says, just in, President Tinubu orders probe of Dr. Betta Edu's ministry, vows to take action. Do you know who that is by any chance? Dr.
Yes,
Betta Edu?
that is the minister in charge of human... I don't know what they call that.
I'll tell you.
Humanitarian stuff.
Humanitarian affairs. Yes.
Yes. That ministry, when we started them.
No, let me finish the story. Let me finish the story. Then we can talk. Yeah. All right. So it says President Bola Tinubu has ordered a thorough probe of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation led by Betta Edu. The Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made this known in a statement on Sunday. Controversy had enveloped Edu's alleged involvement in the approval of 585,198,500 naira. All right, that sounds like the equivalence of about more than $5 million. Anyway, to be disbursed into a personal account. Jesus Christ. In a leaked memo on December 20, allegedly...
What
did you say?
You said Jesus Christ. I do not get yourself into the story. Anyway.
Okay, I won't. I'm trying. Because I'm reading and I'm reading it real time with you, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, so in a leaked memo on December 20, allegedly signed by the humanitarian minister, she allegedly instructed the Accountant General of the Federation AGF, Oluwatoyin Madane, to transfer the sum to the account of one Oniyelu Bridget as grant. Oniyelu, okay, that's Yoruba. Okay, Oniyelu Bridget as grant for vulnerable groups in 4 states. However, Madane explained that although her office received a request from the humanitarian ministry to make certain payments, her office did not act on it. Edu, 37 years old, the youngest minister in the president's cabinet, subsequently said there were plans to tarnish her image, adding that she won't embezzle government funds. Incidentally, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) is presently probing Edu's predecessor, Sadiya Farouk, over alleged laundering of 37.1 billion naira during her tenure as a minister under the administration of ex-president Muhammad Buhari. In a statement on Sunday, the information minister acknowledged the uproar over the development in the humanitarian ministry under Edu, saying that the government is determined to unravel the truth. All right, here we go. Your turn. Hi, Chief Oladimeji Abitogun.
Yeah, you said you have not confirmed it. Let me confirm it for you. It is real-time story. It is breaking news. And, still developing. The former minister in charge of that ministry, has been indicted for using for allegedly using a contractor that was named, and they proliferating companies and outlets for stealing or looting resources, money, raw cash from Nigerians. That ministry, when we advocated for its creation, was to cater for the interests of all kinds of vulnerable individuals, persons with disabilities, PWD in Nigeria. But what we find out is that people operate without conscience. And that is what you find has devolved, fully sworn in. 37-year-old lady, my memory serves me right, I think I was named minister, was dancing in the presence of worship. So what was that for? Because an opportunity has come. I was told of a lecturer of economics in those days at the old University of Ife, now known as Obafemi Awolowo University. That was named a commissioner in 1979 by the late Chief Michael Adekunle Ajashi, then governor of Ondo State. But as soon as the announcement came, the guy did not even know. If I mention his name now, you will laugh. Of course, he's no longer here. He later became a minister and later a senator. The one and only late Bode Olowo Poroku from Ilawe Ekiti. I was told that as soon as the confirmation came that I had been named a commissioner to serve in the administration of Adekunle Ajashi, that he threw up the chalk in that class, that university class, and said, "Ilabe bere."
Ilabe.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, Ilabe.
So, perhaps what our sister was dancing for, doing all those praise worship session for, was because Ilabe had come. And but people should be careful how they leak that soup or that stew. Because for once, everybody was looking for generational shift, involvement of youth. Now, this is supposed to be the youngest minister in the administration at 37. I once interviewed the late Chief Richard Akinjide. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Told me, yes, I went there in company of our Southwest Nigeria Bureau editor, Taurid Alaba Abdurazak. And I think the man who later became the Minister of Communications in Nigeria, what's his name?
Go ahead, just keep talking. I can hear you. Just keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Adebayo Shitu.
Okay.
Had gone there with us, and that man told if he came back to Nigeria at the age of 24 as a lawyer, that is at the age of 27, and was later made the Minister of Education. And he was the one who prepared the instrument for the creation of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and so many other landmark institutions. Look at that age. Now somebody is 37, an opportunity to shine. We will wait. Let us believe that what has been alleged is just still in the realms of speculation. Let us choose to err on the side of caution. We must proceed with caution. Could it be true that she was involved in
Are you there? I think I might have lost him. Okay. He's not speaking now. All right. I can't find him. So let's see what we can do. He might need to come back in. We're actually rounding up. We're rounding up the show. This has been awesome. This has been good. Another edition of Sharp Edge News TV in the back, Sunday Politics. But please do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, because we're just getting started. It's actually the first week, okay? So, but your help is highly needed in this, in breaking some of the stories, or sorry, adding our 2 cents to some of these political stories coming out of Nigeria, coming out of Africa, and around the world. All right, so I want to say thank you for everybody that was here. I want to say shout out to Chidima, Natu. Let me see who else was in the chat with us earlier. Chinye, Chidima, Natu. I appreciate you and all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. Just again, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up the notifications, and we'll see if we can drop some clips over the weeks as well. All right, thank you so much. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.